Good evening, one and all. Thank you for joining. Give you a few moments to join, but I'm going to speak. What else have I been doing for this last? We'll share the time in a minute. So, welcome, one and all, to Seas of Wisdom. It's 9:30, just after 9:30. I'm David Daniels, aka The Shy Man. And yeah, Seas of Wisdom, this is it. So, you may have seen the preview post that I put up. Celebrating a major milestone. Thank you for Tracy. Thank you for the comments about the artwork, the branding, and thank you for joining. And thank you for joining over the last. I'll keep that a secret. It's coming. So give people time to join as I introduce myself or reintroduce myself. So David Daniels, aka The Shy Man. I'm just sharing my life, being crippled by shyness to overcoming it, and much more. Hopefully, giving you some wisdom, practical, actionable wisdom that you can take away. Hey, complete, happy belated birthday. Forgive me that I haven't wished you it personally, but thank you for your support, your love, your prayers. I love what you're doing at the moment. I don't always get to read or listen to all your podcasts that you've been doing, but I'm watching. They say watch the quiet ones, so I'm watching and observing, and you're just an inspiration to me. Junior, how you doing? Thank you for joining. Hope you like this. I know you used to join a lot of my prayer time. I don't know if you've been on a Seas of Wisdom, so I hope you enjoyed the experience. So we've got a few people, so we're going to get going. So today's message is a bit of a wordy one. I can't remember it. It's be a wrestler, no battles, no fight, no victories. So the big news firstly is tomorrow at about 6 o'clock a year ago, I did my first Facebook Live. That's what the kind of anniversary thing is. A whole year ago tomorrow, I did my first Facebook Live. And it's a major, major milestone for me. It's one of the most positive, uplifting, challenging things I've ever done. And people like who are on this Facebook Live, you've been a massive part of supporting me, keeping me going. I'll share a little bit about that later. So yes, a year tomorrow, about 6 o'clock, I did my first Facebook Live. It was called A New Beginning. It was about 5 minutes. I actually watched it back. I've never watched any of my Facebook Lives. There is a reason for that. I actually watched it last week, and it seemed like that 5 minutes seemed like ages. So although I've got a lot to say, I don't want to keep you on there too long. So yeah, and I'm gonna be celebrating it. So the plan is that I'm gonna do a Facebook Live at 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm not expecting you guys to join me. The main message is tonight. Preview for tomorrow. I'm just gonna be. It's just about honouring people, thanking people. So exactly the same spot. It was about here, right here. I did my first Facebook Live. There were lots of I was blinking my eyes a lot. Hopefully it's improved since then. But even if it hasn't, the major lesson I've learned for myself is just to do it, just to do it, make mistakes as you go along, learn from the mistakes, and yeah, just be honest with who I am and sharing that on the most public social media site in the world. So yeah, I'm very proud of that. So the message tomorrow is just going to be about honouring people. I don't expect too many people to be up at 6, so I want to do a message tonight. So how do I, obviously this is a big important Seas of Wisdom for me, so what do I talk about? There's so many subjects I could have talked about. I could have spent the whole time thanking everyone. I could have talked about the journey. There's so many things I could have talked about, but I kind of landed on this message through reading a book. There's a book about the Holy Spirit. Being a Christian, the Holy Spirit is a major part of my Christian faith. And even if you don't call yourself a Christian or of no faith, I think we can all agree that we all know about the concept of a spirit. It's the unseen. It's the thing that keeps your heart beating. Some people have a vibrant spirit. People are complete. Some people are spiritually dead because of things they've gone through. So I think we can all agree about the concept of what spirit. You've heard of people calling a spirited person, or that person's got a lot of spirit. So I've been reading this book about the Holy Spirit, and there was, I'll be honest, I'm going to share this later. I've been facing some challenges at the moment. Not like I've got food, I've got a roof, I've got a loving wife, children, whatever. And every day I write something to be grateful for. It's one of the habits I've picked up on this journey. But we all go through our challenges, and that my challenge at the moment, being real honest with you, is I've got a lot of fantastic opportunities, a lot of organisations that I want to support. And thank you, Tracy, for that. I could have done a Q&A session, actually, Tracy. Um, I will come back to that question. Thank you for that. A lot of organisations I want to get involved with, my own business that I've started this year. But I've also had a challenge with fatigue, and this is fatigue that's gone on for nearly 20 years now. And as yet, they haven't found, they haven't found what's causing it. I do know I am sensitive, not intolerant, but I'm sensitive to gluten, so that's one other thing I've learned. But when I actually went away, I was away for 10 days in Spain with my family, I didn't suffer as many of the symptoms as I do when I'm over here. One part is that's because obviously I'm on holiday, I unwinded, I didn't work, that was definitely a part of it, the sun and what have you, getting that vitamin D in. And I do know where I work at the moment in the office, excuse me, it's an air-conditioned office, and that doesn't help at all. Oh, I'm so glad on here, my main man, Mr. Maris. I know, thank you for joining, because I know you don't watch a lot of Facebook Lives for good reason, such as I. So thank you for joining, and yeah, thank you for all you've done for me, the podcast. Yeah. So I felt okay when I was eating foods that I don't normally eat over here, and when I come back, Mr. Merrick as well. Wow, I'm so excited. All these people, these major people in my life, on my social media life, have come and joined. Thank you, Mr. Merrick, on here. You put me off my trail. Come on, come on. I'm supposed to be professional now. I've been doing this a year. Let's bring it back. So I didn't feel as lethargic. I didn't feel as tired. I didn't get the attention headaches I did when I was abroad. And when I've come back here, I've struggled. One thing is to get back in the routine. But I think another reason is I'm doing too much. And people tell me I'm doing too much. And I know I'm doing too much. But I believe someone's told me that we have the capacity to do more than maybe we think we can, but we got to work up to that. And at the moment, with everything I got going on, there's some things I need to just simply cut back on. I've been learning to say no a lot more this year, but I've got to say no or stop doing more things. So that's my challenge at the moment. I need to be getting more sleep. I need to take better care of my health. I need to start doing fitness, exercise, all the rest of it, making time for these things. So that's my challenge at the moment. I'm having a few challenges in business at the moment, and a lot of that's to do with the time I'm investing in it. I'm taking a new strategy as well. So it's really been a reflective period for me. And what do I say no to? What do I? And for me as a Christian, it comes back to what is God wanting me to do? What is the purpose? I'm having a little bit of a challenge with that at the moment. So I'm doing a lot of reading, I'm doing a lot more praying, I'm seeking God's answer in that. And two things, the one that I read a couple of days ago, I posted it up by Smith Wigglesworth, and it says something like this: if you do not have without going through a fight, you can't talk about your victories. And me being, I like to create things, my little headlines, I put it about being a wrestler. So what does a wrestler do? When it does, you used to watch WWF. I'm going back now WWE. The wrestlers, professional wrestlers, they grapple, they get hit, they get knocked down. They used to get hit with a chair, all sorts of things. But when they had that victory left a few scars, but they were there to celebrate the glory. So some of you, I know a lot of you on this live, you've gone through battles. I've seen some of them. I've been witness to some of them. You've gone through the battles, but you came out. You're still going through battles, but you're persistent. You're going to overcome those battles. Some of us, we think about it, we don't want the battles. Who wakes up and says, I want to face a battle? Yes, challenges perhaps. You maybe want to run a London Marathon and that, but I'm talking about real battles. Not spending time with your kids because you're at work, or finances to fund a major thing you want to do in your life. And it's really, you will give, I know majority of the people on here, I know you're big in gratitude and giving gratitude lists and all the rest of it. So, but we never stand still in life. So we always want to be improving and doing bigger things. And we only get one life, so we've got to make the most of it. And frustration is a word that's been in my dictionary for the last few weeks. I'm frustrated at not knowing where to go exactly. Do I stop doing what I'm doing? There's someone said something very wise to me. You can do the right thing at the wrong time, and that's really been in my mind. You can do the right thing at the wrong time, and maybe I'm running this race and I'm doing all the right things, but if I'm not going to take care of my health, then I'm just going to be exhausted. And but I'm running around doing all these right things, so maybe, and that's what I've done with things like prayer time. This is what I'm doing with Seeds of Wisdom. So this is probably going to be one of the last, if not the last, Seeds of Wisdom I do. There is something else I'm going to do, but you're not going to see me on here every Tuesday, 9:30, not at this regularity, because I need to step back from some things. I need to step back from some things that I love doing, like Seeds of Wisdom. It's just the reality of the situation at the moment. Until I'm in a space where I've got more time, the finances are in a place that I want it to be at, so then I can do more. So take, that old adage, take one step back to take two steps forward. I'm finding it very challenging to take that step back. I'm like fighting to take that step back. So right now, that's my challenge, that's my battle. But now I've read that quote, and it just reminded me that we all go through challenges, we all go through battles. So I'm not saying, it does actually say in the Bible to almost enjoy when you're going under challenges. Forgive me, I can't remember the exact Bible verse. I almost enjoy it. And to me, my understanding of that is not, I might be wrong here, to wake up and say, like, smiling, I'm going through this battle, but it's just endurance. It's like that boring thing we talk about. I've talked about consistency. It's not always glamorous. It's the unglamorous things that are going to make you hit your goals. It's not the big actions or shout to everyone, I'm going to do this goal or whatever. It's the daily disciplines, the boring stuff, the mundane stuff that's going to get you to where you want to be. Thank you, Complete. You have to fill up first. Be selfless. Yes, you can't give from an empty cup. You can't. Yes, there are times that we need to stretch ourselves. There are times where the hustle, that word, it's got a love-hate relationship, that word, that you have to hustle, you have to, sacrifice some things, maybe a bit of sleep, maybe a bit of food or whatever. But I believe those are, they shouldn't be the norm. That's what I'm trying to say. So that's the kind of thing I'm wrestling with. But now I can acknowledge that reading that quote really helped me. I can have an assurance, faith, if you want to call it. I can have assurance. Yeah, I'm going through this right now, challenging, but I'm gonna get through this. I'm gonna get through this, and by me getting through this, it's gonna empower me. It's gonna help me build character. So over this year in Seeds of Wisdom, I kind of had two battles, wrestles. Obviously, to get to the stage where I actually started doing this Facebook Live, and that was my journey of overcoming shyness, massive battle. But because I've been able to overcome that and celebrate that victory and hopefully inspire other people, that's what prompted me to do the Facebook Lives in the first place. And then I've had another challenge with actually doing the Facebook Lives. 3 days after, so tomorrow's the first year anniversary, I think it was like 3 days afterwards, I phoned up, I was part of a group of people with complete, but 20 of us going on this speaking journey. And 3 days afterwards, I said to the person who was leading it, I can't do this no more. The reason being, I was overwhelmed by the notifications coming in and the friend requests. I was requesting friends, and I just felt overwhelmed by it. I was given a challenge to add like 500 friends in a week. I think I did 100, and I felt, how am I going to do this? This is madness. I can't cope with all these notifications. And I said to this person, I can't do this no more. I don't feel worthy of being in this particular group. I feel like I'm taking someone else's place. And Complete, Utum, Louise, you know who you are. Hopefully I thanked you before. Just reassured me just to do me and to go at my own pace, to go in my own lane. And if it wasn't for those people, I wouldn't be speaking to you right now. It's as simple as that. So there's always challenges when you elevate yourself, when you go up to new levels. There's always a challenge, different challenges, but there's a challenge, there's a wrestle, nevertheless. So I hope this message will help someone who is going through challenges, going through a battle at the moment. It could be sickness, it could be finances, it could be multiple things, it could be a loss of someone. And my message to you is just acknowledge that you're going through this. Acknowledgement is key. To acknowledge where you are. It's okay sometimes to feel sad. It's okay sometimes. I know we do these things in the self-motivation, and we need that as well. There's a quote that says, I think, like, motivation is like a bath. You have to do it daily. So you bath yourself daily. So we need self-motivation, but sometimes you just need to be real about things. There's positive thinking, there's having faith, but sometimes you just need to be real about the situation you're in. You can be grateful. You also acknowledge that you're going through a challenge. So every day I write my gratitude list, and when I'm really, like, at work or whatever, and I'm feeling particularly down, I push myself to remember what have I written on my gratitude list. And it's not to say that's going to make me feel yes and jump up, whatever. It's just having that steady reassurance that, yeah, I'm going through a tough day, whatever, but for me, my God is good. Or for me, I've got my wife at home. I've got that thing, that light to hold on to. I'm not big on like the rah rah and all the rest of it. There is a time and place for that, but sometimes being what's the word? It's like being in a wrestling match. Sometimes you have to fight for your victory. It's not always glamorous. You're not always going to be smiling while you're going through the battle. Sometimes you just got to persist. Sometimes you just got to hang in there. There's loads of analogies I can do which pertains to, like, a wrestling match. And thank you for all the likes and the hearts or whatever. I'm starting to go into preacher mode now. I've got to keep an eye on the time. How are we doing? 17. Okay, we're good. You know what I mean? You just need to go through. You just need to go for it. You just know to go for it. Going through that journey of shyness, I've learned that God did not. It wasn't without. It wasn't for by mistake, or, you know what I mean. There was a reason I went through that. There was a reason. Now, some part of that, I don't believe that was in God's plan. I don't believe that God wanted my dad to leave when I was 3 or 4. I don't think that was part of his plan. But the struggle I went through was shyness and overcoming that. Now, if you put me in a room of 100 people, I'll spot the person who's not engaging with anyone. On my radar, my shyness radar, if you want to call it, is up. I'm looking actively for those people, because I've been through that myself. I know what it's like feeling awkward in those social situations. So I've got that, because it takes one to know one. That's that famous saying. And now I can use that. I mean, I know people on here, Daniel, entrepreneurial minds have just got loads and loads of ideas. We can't act on all our ideas. All great ideas don't always come to fruition. I've thought about setting up meetup groups for shyness. I want to do a podcast. I want to write my book. I've got a title in mind. I can't remember it right now, but they're not all, like I say, sometimes you can do the right thing at the wrong time. You can do the right thing at the wrong time. Prayer time, what I used to do on a Sunday, absolutely the right thing to do. But I felt I needed to stop it. Hey, I've got Eden Rose Coppice, Ipswich. I need to give a shout out to these guys. They run a project called Brick Makers Wood. And they've definitely been going through some wrestles at the moment. So forgive me if I spend a little bit of extra time, but this is important. It's an important organisation. They're based in Ipswich. They've turned a former, like, wasteland woodlands and made it into a place where people can come in and learn more about nature. It's like a nature reserve. They help people with additional needs. They help people who are coming to the end of their life spend time in these tranquil surroundings. You can go there with your kids first Saturday of every month and learn more about what is in nature, creating things. My organisation that I work for, we've been down there. We volunteer once a month. I've been there a couple of times. Joanna and Rob Brooks. Now, can you please, I'm going to do a bit of prayer time here, can you please pray for this organisation, because within the last week they've been broken into twice by vandals who've just stolen equipment, that part of which my organisation has donated money, we raise money for them, so it's set them back. So they're wrestling against that at the moment. It's a bit set back. The money, as for some, or a lot of organisations, is a continual battle to get that. So they've had grants come in, but then obviously when this money, these things have been damaged, that means they've got to pay for these things. You know what I'm talking about. Based in Ipswich, where I live, in Suffolk, and just doing, I know they've got other sites, forgive me guys, I can't remember where it is, where the other sites are. So it's very appropriate that they've joined right now. They're really going through a battle, they're wrestle, but you guys, you're going to overcome it. I know you guys are spirited people. You've been knocked down, but you're going to get back up. And I hold you up in prayer, and I just pray that physically and the resources will come to you. And this, there'll be some learnings that come from this. That's another thing from battles as well. You can learn a lot from your battles. So maybe it's improved security or reviewing. I'm sure you've had all these thoughts already. So I just want to take that time while it's appropriate to shout out to Eden Rose Coppice Ipswich, also known as Brickmakers Wood. So wow, you guys, I didn't know what to expect. You guys, I've got some good people on here, really people who supporting me. Hopefully in some way. So that's pretty much my message. I was going to write up some notes, but I didn't get time, to be honest. I just want to give, I just want to give thanks for every comment, every like, every love heart, every reaction. It's just meant the world. It's meant the world to me, and it was a little bit of a wrestle at the start. Like I said, I almost stopped before I started, but after that, to be honest, it's just been blessings upon blessings. Even when I've made mistakes, I've turned them into opportunities or things that I can talk about. Utum, thank you so much for, I actually looked at the dates, I think it was about a month after I started speaking on Facebook Lives. You put me on your podcast, Straight from the Heart. Guys, check it out, it's on YouTube. Complete saying, God will restore what the enemy has taken, sevenfold, amen. Yes, complete, absolutely. Yeah, thank you for putting me on that platform. I think I was your third or fourth speaker, and like the first three people on there, they're well established major players in the speaking game, and then you had me coming on there, and I'm just grateful that you gave me the opportunity to be on that platform, and it was a absolute, I absolutely loved it. So that was great. So all the things that have happened to me over the last year, it's just been fantastic, and the journey continues. It will be in a different way. I need to step back from a few things in order to achieve my goals and then go full out. I've got to remember I'm a father, but what does that mean? Especially as I've had no father. Time to me, time with my kids is paramount. I'm just not spending enough, so I need to find ways to do that, rather than, I'm a father, I've got kids, and I'm running around trying to do all this as well, which is important, but being a father is a whole, it doesn't come with a manual. I know you can get courses and what have you, so it's just remembering, obviously I'm a husband as well, and all the rest of it as well. So that's what I've got going on, but it's a challenge, it's a battle, I acknowledge it. The other thing I've got to have is patience, a whole nother subject, patience and faith. And when the time is right, all that stuff. So I just want to give you guys all thanks. And Tracy, I didn't forget your question. Where is it? I may have answered it right. What's the biggest difference doing the Facebook Lives has made to you? I think I've kind of learned the answer I'm going to give. I kind of learned it already, mostly through businesses. I've always had an interest in business. I've always perceived business, especially the big ones. I've worked for some of them. You think they're all perfect. They all look perfect. The processes in place. Everything runs clockwork. Some of the biggest businesses I've worked for have been the most unorganized, ones I've worked for. So I think the lesson that I already knew it, but really what Seeds of Wisdom has done. And did you know it? I looked back, I actually called this firstly Words of Wisdom. I can't remember why. That's another thing. When you're going through the battles and that, journal it. Journal how you're feeling. Journal what you're going through, because it's amazing how quickly you forget. I can't remember why I called it Words of Wisdom and why I changed it into Seeds of Wisdom. Biggest thing let's go back to your question. The biggest difference. What's the biggest? I've reread your question. Like they used to say in school exams, read the question. What's the biggest difference doing the Facebook Lives has made to you? What is the biggest difference? I'll probably say it's weird. I've probably been able to be more of myself, or show more of myself or who I am on Facebook, which is like the biggest social media platform in the world, the most public space you can get online. I'll probably be able to show more of myself than probably I've ever been able to, like in the workplace and that. I think that's the biggest difference it's made to me. I can be who I am. I can talk about my faith. I can mess up on camera. And I know people have told me, "Oh, your lighting and this and Utum, you've been really instrumental in this. You've helped me to cut down my Facebook lives when I used to just go on and on, sometimes for an hour. All useful stuff, but you made me realise that people haven't got time, and I've learned that myself. But some of it I've taken on board. Some of it I haven't, because the most important thing was just to do it. That rawness, straight from my heart, to take from Utum's kind of tagline. So it's enabled to be more of myself, and there's times where I've tried to improve in terms of the qualities. I've used various software, tried to get some fancy slides in, but most of the time it's just me and my mobile phone. And you see I ain't got no fancy background or anything like that. The most important for me is just authenticity. Thank you, Tracy, and you guys helping me out when I need it. Authenticity, it's allowed me to be more authentic or show more of myself than I probably have done in any kind of workplace or what have you. So that's probably the biggest. There's a lot of differences it's made to me, I'm sure, personally and spiritually, and it's probably another thing. It's made me actually appreciate what a powerful tool social media can be. I kind of had a love-hate relationship with social media, probably more hate before I started this, but I couldn't have done prayer time the way I'd done prayer time without Facebook Live or any other live streaming platform. And the reason I did that, one of the reasons I did prayer time, was to reach the people who couldn't get out of the house for physical or mental reasons, and using the power of technology and social media to reach those people, and for those people to be blessed, just the same way as other people can go out and what have you to church for prayers or whatever. So those are probably the two biggest differences it's made, and obviously meeting wonderful, again, the power of social media, meeting wonderful people like yourself. I don't know if I ever would have met you, Tracy, if it wasn't for what I've been doing. Daniel, I don't know. Utum, we've both lived in North London at one point in our life, but it's taken social media to bring us together. Complete. I've met Complete in person. I've met Utum in person. I want to meet more of you guys more regularly, but again, it's about having the capacity to do so and making the time to do so. Daniel, I know we've tried to get together and it hasn't happened as yet. Brickmakers Wood, if you're still here, there's more stuff I want to do for you guys financially and through physical efforts as well. I've come across some wonderful people, and there's definitely been a blessing. It has made it, and the thing is, I want to be around you guys more. So you guys are on levels that I admire, and just to know you guys and to follow some of your journey. Utum especially, I have to shout Utum, because like me, he's got a full-time job. like me, he's got children and family, and we've got similar things that we want to do more. We want to. This is kind of looking at this as a year of a breakthrough for both of us. So I really can relate to Utim, but he's done a lot more than me and spent a lot more time in terms of putting the podcast together and coaching and all the rest of it. So yeah, you guys, might sound corny, but it's true. Definitely, you guys, watching you guys, what you're doing, and I want to be your guy. I want to be around you guys more, so you can. Iron sharpens iron. I did a video on that some time ago, and it's definitely true. Be around those people who are gonna lift you to do things, and it's not. Again. I probably learned this lesson before. It's not being. Actually, yeah. Sorry, I'm really getting into it with this question, Tracy. Another thing I learned is I've admired the people, and I only say they're higher than me in terms of they may be doing this for longer, they may have done more than me in this space or what have you, but I can bring something to the table, and that's another difference. I think I knew it already, but just doing this has really emphasized I can make a difference. I can do my thing. So just to kind of give an example of that, a few years ago I used to used to read a lot of personal development books, used to go to the seminars and what have you, and I'd always go probably in the mind of a spectator. I went to a self-development event last year, and although I wasn't speaking, I felt like I was on a level with the people who were speaking. I kind of feel like I was more studying their techniques and being more of a student of what they're doing, and kind of meeting people like Complete and Utim. I kind of felt like I was in that world a little bit. I don't know if you can kind of understand that. And whilst I admire what these people do, and it is incredible, I know I've got something to offer as well. I know, and even if it is, and this is the case for everybody. I want to put a post in this. People go out there and play the lottery to win millions of pounds, whatever. Because of public speaking and the fear of public speaking, if you learn to get good, and I'm talking to the preached already, the converted, if you learn to just be good at telling your story, just your story, you can have an abundance of wealth, not just financially, but spiritually, emotionally, your friendships. And that's just, for me, it's because public speaking is the number one most feared thing in the world, I think. And number two, and another answer to your question, Tracy, it's coming. I think I forget sometimes that what I'm doing with these Facebook Live, it definitely comes more natural to me than when I first did it, because this is just me. I'm just being authentic, but I think I've forgotten about how small percentage of people are actually doing this, speaking live, speaking on camera, speaking on video. Because most of my friends that I've acquired in this year have all been similar. Your coaches, like I say, you're on those higher levels, but you do speaking. So it seemed like everyone was doing a Facebook Live, but that was just everyone in my circle. It seemed like everyone was doing Facebook Live. It's kind of the buzz thing, and everyone was doing it. And you know what I mean, I can't watch everybody's Facebook Live, but I forget that how the minority of people I'm in that are actually making the difference and stepping out and not being afraid to do what the masses are fearful of doing, rightly or wrongly. I believe a big part of that is because they haven't been taught how to speak. There's nothing. Why should we be fearful of public speaking? It's the barriers we put up against ourselves. It's the step into the unknown. So I forget that I'm in the minority. Even if I haven't spoken on stage yet, even if I'm that traditional public speaker, I haven't done that yet. Even just doing this consistently, when I haven't fallen asleep, puts me in the minority, and that has value to it. So that's the short answer to your question, Tracy. I'm just going to go back to some of these comments. Thank you, Complete. I appreciate you for your knowledge. I appreciate you for your wisdom, and yeah, everything you're doing was successful. Please, people, check out Complete. We do it in our unique way, yeah. We touch people that others may not. Exactly. That's a lesson I learned prior to starting this, is learning how to love myself, learning who I was, and accepting that. And there's improvements that I can make, absolutely, but that base, who am I? What, you know what I mean? Get to know yourself, get to know yourself and love yourself, and then to just be the best you can be. And that's it. I'm always trying to improve, always trying to learn. So my wrestles now will take a different path, and you'll still see me on here, but I'm just not going to do it. I'm just not going to be doing it like on a weekly basis. We're going to be I'll do a video just to kind of introduce. So Seeds of Wisdom is going to be let's just say put on hold, because I may bring it back, but if I bring it back, it's going to be a podcast. It's going to be, you know, I mean, using technology to really reach more people, and you guys will know this. If you don't advertise yourself, if you don't promote yourself, if you don't market yourself, so that people can have an idea of who you are and what you talk about, no one will or less people will know who you are. So marketing is just promoting yourself, sharing your story about you. And I haven't done as much as maybe I would have liked to, but I just realising where I am right now. So if Caesar Wisdom's to come back, it's going to be probably in a podcast or something which is going to take a lot more time and effort to bring about. But so for now, I'm going to be bringing, or kind of lifting up, raindrops of knowledge, and I'll explain more why I got that name later. And just, yeah, it'll be an occasional post, might be written, video, just occasional sharings. I've got a wealth of subjects. I've got a whole like post-it notes of loads more things. I definitely haven't run out of things to say. It's just kind of stepping back to, like I say, I've got to ease back on things and really focus on the boring stuff like sleep and resting, and you know what I mean, all that stuff that doesn't get mentioned about when people are hustling, but it's needed. God designed us to rest, so I need to acknowledge that and really pay more attention to that. So how long have we going on? Alright, cool, that's it, we're done. Thank you all. If I do get my good night's rest, I'm going to be doing a Facebook Live at 6. Don't expect you to join me. It's just going to be about honouring people and thanking more what I've done tonight, but just just really honouring people who have helped me on this journey. You will see less of me, but you'll still see me, and I'm always watching what you guys are doing. Even if I don't comment on it or whatever, I acknowledge, I applaud, I pray for all you're doing, and hopefully I'll get to see more of you guys. Maybe we can even do something together in the future. Two are better than one. A team is better than one. And yeah, that could be some good stuff. So I want to thank you all. I want to honour you guys. And the lesson, I nearly forgot the homework. What is the homework? Remember, acknowledge your battles. Remember your battles so you can celebrate your victories, and then share that with others and add value to their lives. While you sleep, you vision. Absolutely. Thank you all. I will see you soon. Take care. God bless. Shine and smile. I don't think I've done that for a while. You see, this is it. I take myself less seriously as well. There you go. Take care. Bye now.